law learning, scholarship celebration, and bronco busting. All this and more as the Stafford Weekly News starts now. Welcome to the Friday, February 24th edition of the Stafford Weekly News. I'm Randall Williams. It seems odd to think of continuing education for law enforcement, but it's real and necessary. Stafford does its part by hosting an annual Crimes Against Persons conference for the surrounding area.
This is our annual Crime Victims Response Team Conference. This is an opportunity for people who are involved in the providing services to victims of crime to come in and learn the cutting-edge technology, the latest laws and regulations, and the latest science to learn how to best deal with people who have suffered from trauma. So it's a very important event. We have great participation every year from all the law enforcement agencies and other support agencies and non-governmental organizations who help with this effort of helping crime victims deal with trauma that they've suffered. You know, we're very blessed to be able to have this partnership with the city of Stafford. You know, to host these type of conferences, you need a large venue to facilitate it. And so we've been fortunate to have a long tradition and a long partnership with the city of Stafford. This is very important, not just for the city of Stafford, but everyone in Fort Bend County who might receive services when they're in need.
Well, it's important because knowledge is power, right? So we have to make sure that our law enforcement and victim advocates are knowledgeable about different aspects of the criminal justice system and just different ways in dealing with victims. And so if we are able to impart knowledge on all of our victim-based services in Fort Bend County, that's going to be helping the victims of Fort Bend. So today we put on a conference where we have different types of victim response coordinators, victim advocates, and law enforcement agencies come to our conference where we can educate them about all things related to victim services or victim behavior or how to help victims and the different facets of law enforcement that everybody works.
You know, there are a lot of regulations that deal with notices to crime victims. There's also different science and psychology and sociology that inform us on how best to deal with people who have suffered trauma. So there'll be a series of lectures and they'll be training people on proper procedures and protocol for interviewing crime victims. There'll also be instructions on what the law requires in terms of notification to crime victims and crime victims compensation. There'll also be a great education on the different services that are provided by non-governmental organizations who help people who've been traumatized as a result of a criminal offense. So it's about educating people who participate in this field about the best practices and current law and being current on legislation.
It's important for us, and we know that we're making a difference because we have a great outcome or people coming to the conference every year. We have about 200 people that come from all different facets of Fort Bend County and some people outside of Fort Bend County, and they come back every year, and we change it up every year. We talk about different topics to make sure that everybody's educated about different things, so it's not the same every year, and we know that people appreciate it, and we can tell in the way that people leave here and practice that they're implementing the things that they learn here at the conference.
I am grateful for everyone who's participating in this process. Our community needs people to be in this space who are passionate and well educated on how to deal with traumatized persons who have been victimized by crime. So I am grateful that we're here today. I'm grateful for the great turnout that we've had, and I'm grateful to be a part of providing services to victims of crime.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, but there's always a person making those wheels go. February 22nd was School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and SMSD made sure that those folks were celebrated.
Today's Driver Appreciation Day, which is nationwide, and just thanking all our drivers for all they do, transporting all the precious cargo to and from school in a safely manner. it's important because it's their day to shine, and just to say thank you, just appreciate everything they do for us.
It just goes to show that in the grand scheme of things, that we're not just bus drivers. It's the appreciation that they're showing to us for the things that we do, because I can't say it's a thankless job, but it's not an easy job and it's not a hard job. So just for them to have a day like this for the bus drivers, it's amazing.
One thing that's first and foremost in my mind is the safety of the kids, because you're transporting other people's children and you want them to be safe like you would want your own children to be safe when they're riding on the bus. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you really appreciate it, because it can be an easy job. Sometimes it can be a hard job, dealing with traffic, dealing with weather, dealing with different personalities of the kids, but it really makes you feel like you're thought about on the job.
Well, we do appreciate the partnership with the Stafford Municipal School District Transportation Department, and today is actually Bus Driver Appreciation Day, so we came over here to give them some treats and just a thank you for the continued partnership to get those members from the school to our Boys and Girls Club.
It means a lot because I want them to, notice them, appreciate, thank them, because they do a lot, especially with what's going on right now, short staff. We get it done. We're team players and we get it done no matter what. We all pitch in, and if we have to combine or, kind of split the routes, but we get it done. We make it happen each and every day.
You are the first thing they see in the morning and possibly the last thing they see at the end of their school day, and you treat them like you would like to be treated.
Every year we enjoy taking time out to come over and just show the bus drivers how much we appreciate them and value what they do and what they bring to the district, and specifically to my campus as well. They transport our little ones, our smallest of the smallest ones, to a school each and every day, and that can be a daunting task, and so we definitely want to just show them how much we appreciate and value what they do. When I look at these bus drivers, I see loving and caring individuals. I will say most of them are a little bit up in age, so sometimes the children look at them as, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and it's the first face they see every morning, and then the last face that they see when they go home in the evening. And so the drivers have an opportunity to brighten a child's day, help encourage them to have a good day, and then when they, send them back home in the evening times, just letting them know that, hey, I'll be here again for you in the morning. And for some children, having that feeling of stability and just knowing someone cares and loves them, it's a lot, and it helps the child feel safe and secure and enjoy, coming to school each and every day.
If you see a bus driver, and not just on February 22nd, every day, if you see them, just wave, smile, and thank them for all they do.
Cake on Canvas, next.
In Stafford, diversity is not just a number, it's who we are.
When you are here, you become part of the story.
You can sleep well knowing we're always on the job and looking out for you.
It's a great place for growth and opportunity.
Tradition starts here.
We teach your children and we stick around for your grandchildren.
We are one. We are Stafford.
This is the city of Stafford, and we are one.
Who out there received a scholarship to college? Raise your hand. Even if you didn't, you know how important they can be. John King recently attended a luncheon for some of the people behind those scholarships, the HCC Foundation.
This is a very special day. This is a day where we're bringing together our donors and our scholarship recipients, and where our donors get to see the impact of their generosity, and our scholarship recipients get to be able to thank our donors. And as you can see, we are Houston's community college, and our donors are investing in Houston's future.
It's because our students are going through lots of life obstacles to get an education, to better their lives and their family's life. So if there's something we can do to make that journey a little bit easier on them, we're excited about it. So that's why we raise money for scholarships.
When I received a scholarship back in December, it mostly went towards my necessities because I had hit a rough patch in the road to where I decided to completely change my life. And I matured as an adult. I did attend college when I was younger, like 10 years ago. And I only did it because my parents kind of forced me to go, and I just didn't have it in me. But now, you know, I have 2 kids, and I went through life, and I know what life is about, and education is important.
We've always said that HCC is an amazing academic program that gives these students a head start. They can get their first 2 years of college for a nominal amount. With the scholarships, it's like, you know, free, you know, like books, tuition, everything for the first 2 years for the scholarship recipients. And you get so much more bang for your buck at HCC than you do at four-year colleges.
Scholarships are so important to these students. It really breaks down the barrier to entry for them to get an education and move forward with their path in life. And it's just so important that we can afford that opportunity to them. There's so many folks out there that really just need a little bit more, and the scholarship money we provide gets them to where we need to be with the students.
Moving to Houston right in the middle of the pandemic, it was really difficult for me to adapt to the new environment and not having a job. And so when I finally made the decision to go back to school, the HCC Foundation scholarship, which I received, has helped me tremendously in alleviating the financial burden that was on me, so that I was able to focus more on obtaining good grades in order to pursue my career into medical dosimetry.
Getting the scholarship was extremely pivotal for me. It really just changed the game and relieved so much stress and financial burden that I was experiencing. So I can't say enough how it helped me go back to school and gain the skills and certifications I need to advance my career.
For these small amounts, it changes the trajectory of someone's life forever, and it could be generational, their children and their children's children. So that excites me. That makes me feel so great that we were able to help our students gain their success.
And scholarships are so important, and we know these days how expensive it can be to go to college and all the expenses outside tuition. And this day is just one of those days and celebrations that we come together and highlight our students and student success. So we look forward to our continued partnership with our foundation.
By getting a 2-year degree or a certificate from HCC, the students who are in the lowest 20%, the lowest quintile, if you will, of economic ability, move up 2 quintiles to middle class just by going to HCC. So if you want to invest in Houston's future, you invest in HCC Foundation scholarships.
HCC likes to showcase the artistic ability of its employees, and the latest show at the West Loop campus allows you to have your cake, but not to eat it, because it isn't real. The current exhibition at HCC's West Loop campus by HCC student and DIT librarian Amy Lee may leave you hungry for more.
One day, I was walking in the grocery store and I saw a piece of cake that just caught my eye. And the curves, the color, everything. Wayne Thiebaud had just passed away a few months ago, and he was 101 years old. So put those things together. If you don't know, he famously painted a lot of cakes. And there you have it. I do enjoy the obsessiveness of having a series, but really its painting from life is such that, like, when you see an image that you recognize, you automatically have associations with, your brain tells you that's a bird, that's a piece of cake. But the thing that makes it special is with painting, it draws you in to the details, and you look at the brush strokes, and you know, you can actually kind of get into that person's head a little bit, you know, just going through your day and having a regular life and being no different than all the other people in the world, except that you just see things a little bit differently. So My general technique is that photorealism as a movement is so precise, and I have not been able to achieve that level. Now, as you mature as an artist, you stop criticizing your own work. So I accept my work at the level that I've become. But as you say, there are moments like the strawberries where, as I'm just focusing on that one small detail, it seems so alive. And so I like to think of my work more as like a soft realism, because it is realist, but photorealism blows my mind, honestly. Recently, I got into Irish fairy tales. So I'm reading this book. It's called Children into Swans, and it's like kind of a scholarly approach to this folklore that's been around for ages. And you always hear, stories, and certain ones resonate with you more than others. And so I kind of got, latched on to the fire-headed maiden in the sea and themes like that. That may be coming next. We'll have to see. It really just depends on, what I've encountered in my day-to-day life and what I like. Yeah, for young artists, I think the number one rule is just listen to your heart. Don't let others dictate your rules, like what you can and can't do. You find your own boundaries. And for me, that it has not been easy, because you tend to want to do more than you can. Like, if you can think it, if you can see it, you may not create it, or you may create it in a more expressive way or more abstract way. You decide for yourself where that line is and what's okay.
For HCC Beat, this is Randall Williams. Ask Me Anything, next.
You can try, but you won't find another city like Stafford, Texas.
Serving our community just like you like it.
Taking care of you and your home since 1945.
We believe in STEM to learn and STEM to earn.
We're heading into college certified and career ready.
As a former student of Stafford, I take pride in keeping our classrooms safe.
We are Stafford, we are one.
The cowboy has a rich and romantic history, but when you see that history on TV or in the movies, it's not always the whole story. Fernando Ramirez attended a rodeo at the George Ranch that honored the ones who got left out, the black cowboy.
We're in the month of February, as we all know, that is calendared as Black History Month. And we here today are celebrating the legacy of the black cowboy here in Fort Bend County, as well as our past educators. And here, we're here to celebrate them, not only just celebrate them, but acknowledge all of their accomplishments and achievements that they made, and open up doors for allow us to be here and to celebrate them and let them know that we still appreciate them. And we're keeping the legacy going, because we know we are our ancestors' greatest dreams. And we must reflect and we must respect them. We have a full events planned and scheduled, including activities for the children, educational purposes. We have food trucks, we have vendors, and we have a grand entry parade. We have mutton busting for the children. We have all types of activities planned. Our motto at the Fort Bend History Association is preserve the past, educate your present, inspire the future. And we want everyone to know that things that happened back in our past, it's okay to celebrate and acknowledge that these things happen and to be able to move forward in life. And that's really the takeaway here for this rodeo. We want everyone to come out and have a wonderful time, but as they're having a wonderful time and have fun, they get to learn. And then they get to see amazing bull riding rodeo activities that people normally don't see. You have to see it on television, but we got it here live today.
On today, I would like to say I'm very thankful to have the 4th year with this rodeo. We started it out with Mr. Willie Thomas, who was a bull riding champion, and it's really grown over the years almost 3 times to what it was earlier. And I think that everyone, especially the children, will get a chance to see what they can't see on TV and old movies.
So I just joined the Fort Bend History Association in November of last year, so this is actually my first rodeo and I'm really excited to be here. This is one of the events I've been looking forward to. What an amazing way to honor the legacy of Black cowboys in Fort Bend County, and what a day to celebrate everything that they accomplished as well. And I think that's what we want our visitors to do here, is celebrate and honor the Black cowboys who made Fort Bend County what it is today.
I'm hoping that they feel as though it's a great event that they can put on their calendar as an annual rodeo that they can come and participate in. And that's what we would like them to do, because the more participation we have, the larger the event becomes, and cowboys from all over will begin to come and participate just simply because of the word of mouth and things of that nature. When the other cowboys say, hey, I'm going to Richmond this weekend to the George Ranch Rodeo.
As they leave it out that gate, we want them to have their smile to be brighter, their thought pattern to be more clear, and to get a greater understanding of the legacy of the Black cowboy in Fort Bend County, and as well as the educators that paved ways for us to be here today. So we want them to go out and share. We want them to share what we have going on here in Fort Bend County of this rich legacy that we have here.
You might have seen axe throwing competitions on TV and thought, that looks like it might be fun, but my neighbors would complain. Well, good news. There's a venue in Stafford where that's all they do. You've got a free evening, you're tired of TV, you want to try something different, but you don't want to go too far. Why not throw axes at something?
Man, I've had an obsession with sharp things since I was a very young man. I grew up throwing knives in the backyard, like a lot of people have done. The obsession never really went away. I eventually went to an axe throwing venue for one of my friend's birthdays, and I got a job there not too shortly after. And then I eventually left that place, and we decided to open up the one here in Stafford, and the rest is history, man. I've been throwing since then, so yeah, it's just been an obsession with sharp things, I would say.
And for a hatchet, you would have to throw from behind the 12-foot line, which we have marked on red and gray, and stripe line directly below you. When throwing, in a scoring standpoint, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These blue dots are worth 8 points. Basically, the blade would have to break through that line to get that higher point value.
I think the precision factor and the consistency has drawn a lot of people to it. Just trying to get as close to perfect as you can, I feel it draws a lot of people in. It's a very precise sport. You know, you're throwing at a bullseye that's 1.5 inches in diameter from 12 feet away, which is, it's not an easy feat. And I think just trying to get as close to perfect as many times as you can is what draws as many people in. You know, a lot of other sports are very forgiving, and this sport is very unforgiving. So I feel like that's probably what draws most people into it. Sharp, and it goes back to sharp things, you know, dangerous, and you know, people like, you know, it goes along with the whole like Viking feel, and you know, people are obsessed with those old times and stuff like that.
So we do leagues on Monday and Thursdays. Typically our Monday leagues are hatchet and big axe, standard hatchet and our big axes. Thursdays are going to be standard hatchet as well as knives. Thursdays more typically our beginner league. It's just easier for people to join in that one. We have me and Garrett, a couple other seasoned throwers, and we'll help guide you through leagues, as well as explaining, you know, your circuit points, how to improve your throw, your mental portion of the game. Garrett, who interviewed earlier, he's actually currently number 6 in the world in knives. As he like to say, for me in 2020, I got 3rd place in the world on ESPN. Even the most local one we just went to was last year's Worlds. You can find all that on YouTube. You'll see both of us compete on there. It was a great time. It was in Appleton, Wisconsin. It was nice and cold. We came back. It began cold again here. So it's fun. It's all in good times.
Just check out our website. It's www.hurlinghatchetstafford.com. You can book online or just walk in whenever you want. We're open Wednesday through Sunday. Just come on in and check us out whenever you want. So,
For Great American Pastimes, this is Randall Williams. That's a wrap on our news for this week. Thank you for joining us. For everyone here at Stafford Weekly News, I'm Randall Williams. May all your news be good news.
This program was produced on the Stafford campus of Houston Community College.